Okay, good afternoon to everybody, and thank you, MDEC, for having me here for this 40 minutes sharing of my IT exposure. And appreciate MDEC initiative to lead Malaysia companies into digital world to gain competitive advantage to empower business success. I would like to introduce myself. I am CEO and founder of SQL Account and SQL Payroll, the #1 accounting software, the largest accounting software user base in Malaysia, with 230,000 companies using our software for their daily operations. This session, we would like to open your mind from IT angle. Today, I would like to try different things. So our background as IT R&D company, we help many SME digitize successfully. Let's look at the fundamental question, because everybody's saying digitize. Fundamental questions, and let's share the slide. Okay, we are #1 accounting software, and let's go to second slide. Okay, first of all, have you ever wondered why you need to digitize? Because everybody says so. How digitalization leads to business success? This is the important topics we need to know before we go in digitalization. On the journey of digitalization, some of you yet to get started, some of you already started but lost of direction in the midway, and some of you started off successfully and get stuck with certain challenges that hinder your progress. Stay tuned to the next 30 minutes. It will be solid explanation on IT digitalization from my past experience with 230,000 companies. In order for trading and business to happen, human interactions is the must. In the past, visible infrastructure like shopping mall, exhibition halls, hotel ballrooms are built to gather crowds because for human interactions. Example, we can go to a shopping malls, we can look at the product we wanted, and we purchase from there. We go to exhibitions hall because we want to know what are the latest technologies and latest products there. So these are the examples. We need to gather everybody together, and we need something to get people there also. We build infrastructures like highways, roads, railways, airplanes to transport us to attend the venue to what I mentioned just now. Let's see how IT address these challenges. We view ourselves, our vision as builder in cyberspace. We enable human-to-human interactions in cyberspace. We replicate things in actual world into digital world and portray it in front of human being senses to process. You see, we human capture information through 5 senses and pass the brain to process. We have our eyes to see, our ears to hear, our nose to smell, our mouth and our touches. So these are the senses that we need to fulfill. Example now, we are having our Facebook Live. The practicality and effectiveness lies on the visual and audio experience that fulfill our human senses. You can see now, offline and online experience are equally good with current IT technology. IT take away time constraint and distance barriers that human not able to pass through for the past 1,000 years. Digitalization bring information to human senses, and you can do your precise decisions to example. Okay, let us give an example. Your car having problem. Those days, you need to call your mechanic to explain to them what are the problems that you face with your car. And nowadays, what you do? You bring out your smartphone, you video it with audio, and record it down, send to your mechanics. Then he or she exactly will know what happened to your car. So this is an example of replicating things in real world into matrix world. Digitalization make everybody seamlessly connected. Let's look at this. Albert Einstein. So we use Zoom as example. So he give an example of power, E equal to mc square. This is the equation. I like to use equation. So if I were to put down the digitalization, the power of digitalization, then I would say digitalization, the power of digitalization equal to distance saving plus time saving multiplied by the multiplier. What does it mean that? Example, now we are in Facebook Live in Zoom. So the power of this digitalization is we save the distance travel, everybody safe, and the time to get together, so that preparation. These two, we multiply by how many participants. Example, we have hundreds of participants, that the power of digitalization is there. Example, in a meeting. So when we have a meeting of 5 person, yes, 5 person save distance and time. The total output for human being will be the distance and time plus the number of people plus the count. How many you can repeat to do per day. You can do 3 meetings per day, then it's multiplied by 3. So you can see exactly how digitalization make saving and how digitalization make the world still going even with pandemic and COVID, and we can still do our daily transactions with our trades, our learnings, or we can still going on. Human, when we talk about business success, it's always a business decision-making process. How good your decision-making process will make your output into a multiplier. We always, before we make any decision, we always like to increase our choices, our options. Then the next thing, we need to analyze, okay, how digitalization works. The goal of digitalization is to make every single person in your organization is able to make timely and precise decisions. Digitalization helps you to get multiple sources of data, lay out all the options, bring to your human senses for analyze and make precise decisions. That's why this process is very important. First, as you can see in the slide, increase choices with all the data portrayed to you, and you're able to analyze, and with the system's help, then thirdly, you can do precise decisions and timely decisions. This is the end goal we want in digitalization. We are a business software house, SQL accounting. So from us, how we see the evolution stages in business software. When we go into a company, we always will judge them. Which stage are they in? Then we'll lead them to advance and progress. First stage of digitalization will be data centralization. You just make all your accounting data along with operations data, all transactions are centralized into SQL software. Sometimes it's not only accounting data need to go to system. Your operations flow, your design, your plan, your SSM search, these are all can centralize in one system. It's not scattered over your desk with papers and Excels. So the first page will be data centralization. Then you go to the second stage. With all data into the system, then what you do? In SQL, we provide more than 2,500 reports that help you analyze your business and help you to identify your problem area. Example, you can know, hey, how come my company is low in profit? How come my company is negative cash flow? These are all from your reports to turn out from the data that you feeding in system earlier. Then you are able to pursue with the post-control. Post-control is what already happened. So with the post-control, you look at the history data, you look at the last month data, yes, these are already happened. Then you identify your problem area. Then your organization should move on to the final stage of the digitalization evolution. It should be preventive control before things turn bad. For example, from reports in post-control, you know which area of your business having problem, then you build it into the system. You let the system stop it from happening for you. For instance, if you think your cash flow is low, you want a better cash flow, then why not you inbuild in the system whenever your customers ordering or whenever you're going to deliver some product, the system will check the overdue and outstanding for you. It will stop it from delivery. Yes, order, you let the customers to order, then you tell the customer, oh, sorry, I can let you to order, but delivery, you need to clear your payment. If the profit margin is important to you, why not in the quotation stage, before saving, the system check line by line item margin and the total quotation margin for you before you save. If that total is not enough to cover even your transport cost, let's say 500 ringgit to Subang Jaya, then the system will sum it up all items, even though it's more than the percentage threshold, but the total per bill margin is not enough, then the system will stop it from happening. So this is what is important for our organization. Preventive control is always better than cure. For us as a bosses, what we advise you, we need to engineer an unbeatable IT backbone for your company. The backbone is a company-wide engagement. It's spanned across various departments. It can start from your sales, to your production, to your marketing, to your logistics, to your e-commerce. It should be a company-wide project, because when I see some of my customers, they might think this is accounting software just for account department. This is what they're getting wrong. A software accounting is an entry point for you into digitalization. This is the first step journey of the long journey that you need to go through. As bosses, this is a company-wide engagement. And after you have this in mind, then the next thing will be the human factor. As we all know, human factor is important. Many bosses were thinking money is the only criteria for IT success. I spend the money for you, I get a consultant, please do it for me. But this is not going to happen in IT. In IT, the top management, the middle management, even to the lower staff, every single person's involvement and willingness to go extra miles in digitalization is important. We are not only replicating a current process into a new system, but we need to have a thorough reassessing, readjustment of new operations flow, new innovative ideas. These are needed from each of the team member to empower your IT backbone. This is a good timing where the management should build a transparent, pinpoint rewarding scheme to entice everybody's self-motivation. With SQL, we can pay our reward scheme to any of the KPI that you can lay out. This is to make them self-motivate to push the barrier of each details in your organization. Remember, success lies in details. For year 2020, it's time for us to make a change. This is a perfect timing to build up your IT backbone. Once in a lifetime opportunity to learn and make changes, this is the time. The gap of competitive advantages among businesses are not as big as you think. I give you an example. Let's say You are ranked number 3 in the class. You are ranked number 3 in a class of 50 students. So this is where you are number 3 in the class. Okay, fine. How if you compare in the school level, school of 10 classes, total 500 students, you might be ranking number 50 or number 60 with an average mark of 82. Average mark, let's say 82 marks. You will notice that with every single mark up or down in your average mark, your ranking will up 20 or up by 10 or down by 10. Everybody is only a marginal changes. Marginal gain make a big difference. Do not contented on your success now. You are being penalized on your weakness. This is important. Some bosses, they think I'm doing well in my sales, I'm doing well in my this part of business, this IT, these small things need not me to take my efforts. This is wrong because you are being penalized on your weakness. One miserable mark difference will drop your rank tremendously. This is what globalization challenge mean. We are coming to a new era, 2019. Yes, we are using 4G now. It's good enough because we watch videos, YouTubes happily. And we heard of the terms IoT, big data, AIs. It seems far because it do nothing to us. And we see it every day, but it is coming. It is coming with whenever 5G ready. 5G is the critical fundamental infrastructure to make all this coming. Let me share with you what are the difference. Many of you will think 4G and 5G, the only difference is the download speed. Now I'm watching my favorite movie at 10 minutes download time. So when it's 5G era, you give me, I can achieve 30 seconds. That's the only difference to them. But for us as software company, we see very differently. 5G and 4G, the main difference is 4G is human to human linking. 4G designed for human mobile devices because the mobile is our entry point to matrix world. So everybody using mobile devices. It's human to human linking. But 5Gs are devices and devices linking. IoT and IoT linking. Okay, let's look at IoT because some of you might not familiar with IoT. IoT, Internet of Things, as you can see here, virtually everything will go to internet, will link up together. I like the Mandarin word. Mandarin word, 万物连. 万物连 means everything connected in English. Of course, IoT, Internet of Things, some might not get the precise meaning. So everything connected. Everything connected means everything is going to live with ability to capture because they have their sensors and decide by AI themselves without human being. This you can imagine the world after 5 years. This 2019 to 2023 is a critical movement for you to catch up. Digitalization is important. Okay, back. Okay, wow, okay. So for this, okay, I like to tell an example on the car on Elon Musk. Okay, back. Okay, this is very important. Okay, as I said, 4G and 5G, the difference will be 4G human to human connections. 5G are devices to devices connections. I give you one example. Let's say we are attending a concert by Lady Gaga. So thousands of us into the concert hall. Now we have our 4G with our mobile devices. So now we take out our devices, We want to stream it online to the Facebook to let people know that we are in this concert. Under 4G era, the chances when you take out a mobile phone, either the streaming is so slow, the bandwidth is not enough, or even you are not even able to connect it to your stations. So this is the fundamental bottleneck of 4G. In 5G, there'll be everything, all devices connected. Because the human population in the world is only 7.8 billion. So that time we only design the infrastructure in that way. Now, all items are connected, all devices are connected. I give you one example of its usage. Everybody heard of Tesla by Elon Musk? They have the autopilot cars on the road. For you, it might mean just autopilot. I mean, no need me to drive. It's just a convenience sake. But this example of the cars will turn the world so differently. The car with 5G, it will auto-detect the traffic lights. Now imagine there's many cars waiting on the traffic light. If we are still using 4G, then the cars, some cars will be lagging, some cars are able to connect it, some cars not able to connect it, doesn't see the red light. This will be a havoc. So 5G is multiple devices and stable connection and fast connection. And this will make the autopilot cars a new evolutionary usage. For example, Elon Musk was saying, the cars is a bigger piece of waste because you spend so much money and you drive to the office for an hour driving and you park in the car park and pay the car park fee for the whole days. And afterwards, you only drive back. Why not the car with autopilot? When you reach your office, the cars will tap to Uber and Grab and fetch you and earn you money. So by the time of after office hour, the car come back to your office and you can fetch you back. The car will be maximum usage. We do not need to build so many parking lots. We do not need to build so many roads on that. So as you can see, a car, when 5G coming, it will be a very evolutionary changes. This is one part of the example. So in 5 years' time, there are many examples will be coming up. In SQL, being a forefront IT R&D company, we spend more than 20 million investment in R&D in SQL next evolutionary solution, riding on 5G wave. With good product in mind, we certainly want every company to enjoy the benefits. That's the reason SQL products are at affordable price range. You can see here, we have the full range of SQL accounting, SQL payroll, we have e-commerce, we have inventory, we have the personalized, we are able for you to personalize customization. And we have cloud-based system, we have public cloud, where you can put your data in our data center, or you want it to be at your own office, we call private cloud, or it can be on-premise version. There's a variety of changes. You can always contact us, then let us know which solutions you need. And the beauty now is MDEC is offering, or the government is offering 50% grant that you can onboard to the digitalization with lower cost. And this is good timing because everybody is more free, and we have the crisis mind that this is the time we make the changes. I hope my sincere sharing just now will give you some useful guidance, and it's along your journey of digitalization. We've spoken on how IT eliminate time and distance barrier. And we even have some formula for you on the power of digitalizations. Remember the Einstein? So the Einstein, I still wondering why still so much hair left, whereas I'm so little. So this is where the power of digitalization and share with you upcoming 5G era. So this is an important chapter for you to write on the digitalization wave. Contact us now and to start your digitalization journey for your business success. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Desmond. That was a very informative presentation. Now we have a couple of questions that just came in. Let's go ahead and answer them. If you like, you can always click on the Q&A button and you can see it as well.
Rorin, I couldn't hear you because I think my speaker having problem. Just give me 1 minute. I get you.
Sure, no problem at all. Now, guys, if you have any questions for Desmond regarding his topic, don't forget to just leave them in the Q&A box right now. We are taking your questions. In the meantime, don't forget, if you'd like to be a part of the 100 Go Digital community on Facebook, you can always head on over to our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/groups 100 Go Digital. Once again, that's facebook.com/groups 100 Go Digital.
Okay.
All right, Desmond, can you hear me already? Not yet, apparently. All right, guys, let's give him a little bit of time to fix this little technical issue that we're dealing with right now. Also, if you're interested in digital funds, and that has two currently at the moment, the first being the SME Business Digitalization Grant, or better known as SBDG, which encourages SMEs to adopt digitalization in their business operations. Now, the government will provide each company with a 50% matching grant up to $5,000 for the subscription of approved digital.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Digital services, and the second being the smart automation. Total project cost subject to a ceiling limit of up to 200,000 ringgit or whichever is the lowest, and through this matching grant. Now, for more information about this, you can always head on over to ndec.com.my. Hi, Desmond, welcome back.
Hi.
Can you hear me now? Yes.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Yeah, if they have any questions, feel free to ask me. So I'm ready to help them.
All right, fantastic. We do have a whole bunch of questions that just came in. So if you like, you can always click on the Q&A button. It's right beneath your screen as well, and you can see the questions while I read them out to you. This first one comes from FU. Now, FU would like to ask, can we apply to be SQL dealer partners, and whom do we contact?
Okay, for this, you can he can always email in to us, sales@sql.com.my. Then we can handle him privately.
All right, you know exactly what to do. Just type them an email and they'll get back to you. Thank you. Now, this next one is from Rajesh. Now, Rajesh's question is, who are your main competitors? Xero is another product, and how do you compare?
Okay, most of the products in the market, their focus is on accounting alone. They never realize that business, the whole idea of digitalization, as I shared with you just now, we see it from very big angle. It should be helping the business bosses, not only from internally, it should be go to the sales department or every department that should automate, and you can personalize your idea into the system. In most software in the market, like Xero or QuickBooks or any software that you name it, is a pure accounting software. That was the solution for 10 years back. If you are in business in 10 years back, you just want something that you can raise invoice, you can do your payment recording, you can check your bank reconciliation. That's back end office product. But for us, it should be an IT backbone for an organization.
All right, super. I hope that answers your question, Rajesh. Okay. Hang on. There's actually a second part to that question just now. So the second part of the question was, how do you compare for a 50-person company, and what is the total cost of ownership?
For SQL accounting, for us, because we do wish that our product, you remember the equation just now, the power of IT is the number of users to use it. We do not want to have a product that is only used by hundreds big companies. We want a smaller companies to enjoy and to grow with them. That's why for our costing, once you split out with thousands of customers, I give you one example just now. We spent 20 million on our next evolutionary product. 20 millions to a customer, the costing is 20 million. If 20 millions, I can sell 2 million customer. It's only 10 ringgit. So you can see the calculation is there. So no worry. The costing line for existing product is only start from 15 or 1699 for a basic version or 1899 onwards with training support in the implementation service included. So it's only 2,000 ringgit. If you get MDEC grant, high chance you're only paying 1,000 ringgit to enjoy and to start your digitalization process.
Okay, thank you. Now, I just saw one that is in the comments here. So guys, once again, if you have any questions, please leave them in the Q&A box, and that way I will keep track of them systematically and they won't get lost in the comments or the chat box for that matter, because you guys are really active there, which is great. So keep those questions coming, but leave them in the Q&A box. I'm just going to read this one here from the chat. So this one says, hi Desmond, does SQL allow integration with other system providers?
Yes, we are. We welcome all integrations into our software. And the best part of it is we do not charge on integration. Okay, you see how it goes. Now in SQL, we already integrated to so many software. Their property management software, their meter reading software, their construction software, their software in the market. And for us, we know we are providing solutions and we want our users to enjoy the full integrated system. And current product is designed with accounting in mind. And there are so many niche markets that we cannot reach by now. So yes, integration, and we even do not charge on the integration module. So this is a way, this is how you can see how we see the IT. Money is never in our equation. So just now you remember the equation, there's no dollar sign there. So this is important. We understand what is happening now, how we help the SME. We understand what is coming, the wave is coming. We need to tune ourselves. We need to help Malaysian SME to gain back our competitive advantage. Our businessmen in Malaysia, once upon a time, 10 years back, we are very proud. But since then, we couldn't gain our advantages, competitive advantages. We lose to many countries because we are still using the old way to run our business. We need to treat seriously on the digitalization. It's a gateway for you to go in metrics world, and this event and that event will give you the full exposure of every part of your business. What should you do? And come to us. If you like the solutions and they want to link to our backend, just tell them, I want to link to SQL. We are welcome. That's what we can help you.
All right, super, thank you. Now this next one comes from Raja. Now Raja would like to know, does SQL have ERP solutions? If not, then how to mow it with entire business model? I think mold.
We have,
yeah.
Okay, ERP, the full terms for ERP, we call it enterprise resource planning. And once you digitize every area of your company, from your accounting, from your sales, from your production, to your HR, to your payroll, that we call ERP. It's a general terms. And across this area, SQL do have products in all these areas. So by implementing SQL, why don't we call ERP? If we put the name ERP, there are many SME will scared away. Ooh, ERP should be very expensive. It's not for us, a small company. For us, we want everybody to enjoy. We do have all features in ERP, but we still call accounting, payroll, HR, so that SME still come to us. Yes, I want your software. Then we will guide them. We will coach them how to climb the evolution ladder. We will tell them it's time to make changes. It's time to improve. After you do the first level, after you achieve the data centralization, please read your report well. Please understand all the reports and identify the problem. After done, you evolve again to preventive control. Preventive control will be the less costing the least efforts to rectify compared to whatever already happened, and you want to, the damage is done, you want to cure it, that's too late.
Okay, that's very, very good advice. Thank you so much for that. Our next question is from Ahmad Aziz. Now, Ahmad would like to know, I would like to know if the SQL can store all the database for customers, business, or suppliers.
To store a data, we even have more than what he wanted. Customer, suppliers. I give you an example. If your customer is a company, of course, it's a company name, there'll be addresses. How if you are running a kindergarten? Your customers are the parents. In SQL, we can add unlimited user-defined fields. I can have the Papa IC number, the Mama IC number, the kids, the siblings. You can add as many fields you wish in your database. And trust me, this is a very low cost. It's not expensive because it's between 1,000 ringgit. You can get this done. And you can have your master file or customer supply master file information to what you wish. Unlike example 0, you go to other accounting software, you tell them, I'm running kindergarten, I need to have a few IC number, I need to know who is the one to come to fetch the children, I need to grandparents' phone number also. They couldn't do that. So this is where we understand the business. We want to help out, and I know the customers and suppliers master files, it should be more. It should be business friendly. It should be helping you. It should be a centralization of everything, information of your customer into the database.
All right, thank you. We have a question that's in the chat box again. Guys, come on. I think I told you this before. If you have any questions, leave them in the Q&A box, but I'm going to read it out there before it gets lost. So the question is, how much does it cost to install SQL?
For SQL accounting, the software always go by a few core modules. Of course, we do not split to minor modules. We go by big core modules. Example, accounting is a big core module, 1899. Then stock control is one big module, 1899. Payroll, another 1899. So these are the starting price, plus minus a couple of hundred ringgit. It add up, it's just a few thousand ringgit. It's a very worth it investment because the time saving for you and the changes on your business flow, that is already more than thousands ringgit. I always like to ask my customers, there are some customers come to me, they say, your software is a nice piece of software, but you're selling so low price. It just add up, it'll be 3,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 ringgit. Is it okay? Because to them, perception is the software pricing is not that high. It means that the software might not have that features. I tell them, software is where the variable cost is low when you have multiple copies. If I sell 100 customers, then I need to charge you 100,000. I cannot charge you this price. But we have 230,000 customers. Imagine, we can come up a module selling 300 ringgit that fetch us multi-millions. You just times the number of customers. This is where I want the software to have the power, the equation there. So the more people use, the more people come to digitalization, is where I help you, your business to grow. If one day we have customers to come back to us, 10 years back is our customers, now they done well in business, we are very happy. We are very happy to go with them. There are many listed companies yearly come to SQL, our office here, to have their head of department, HOD meeting with us in. Why? Because they want to see how to improve their operations. It's an ongoing process. This world, the strong were getting stronger, the weak were getting weaker. Why? Because when you are weak, you stay away from changes. This is where you're going to be further and further away. Those bosses, listed companies, these are Datuk and Tan Sri, they are so humble. They come and review yearly on their operations. They just want to know next year, which part of my operations I can enhance it. I can save a 3-5%. So by ongoing efforts, you can see them 5 years, 10 years are so different. As we say, business are only gain on marginal difference. We do not, those people running business in Facebook Live or in bigger companies is still human, two hands, two legs, but their adjustment, their alignment, they do things are in details. They know IT is a backbone. Self-involvement is important. Boss involvement.
Okay, so also just to summarize everything you said about the pricing, it's safe to say that your prices start at 1,899. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
All right, plus minus. So guys, if you'd like to know more, you know who to contact us. Drop them an email, they'll get right back to you. Okay, I think we have time for maybe about 1 to 2 more questions. Let's try and squeeze this in. We have about 2 minutes left, so we have to move on. Now, this question is from Rajesh. Now, Rajesh would like to know, how do you compare to Descara, which has integration with HRMS and CRM?
Descara is a Singapore software. And Descara, okay, every software nowadays doing business are so different than 10 years back. Nowadays, when you run your business, you have 2 profit sources. Whether you want to go for conventional customers or whether you want to go for investors. Descara are going for investors. They're going first round and second round fundraising. The number of users are important to them. It's not the happy users. They want a number of users so that they can go on third round funding. We have customers mention to us Descara, and after changing to Descara and come back. Why? In a software, end user like you see the interface. When you see there's a pull down menu, production, there's a pull down menu, HR, you tend to use your imagination to think, oh, this should be the full flash of solutions. But software is that it should be down to earth using. When you use it, then you start to know, hey, how come I can see the menu there? How come the features is there? So I don't want to comment further, but the customers come back to SQL. This is the reason. And we are able to personalize the software flow for you. This is what other software can do. Example, my own software, I need to have, I'm login company. My calculation of my items, I should go by pi R2, deducted the log type. I want to calculate the tarnish. If you go to other software, they'll tell you, sorry, I think this is a unique requirement. I think you got to use the Excel calculate after get the end result you key in the accounting. So this is very different because from day one, when you code the software, what is your philosophy? That the software will follow you.
Okay, thank you, Desmond. Now that's when we have time for one last question, just very, very quickly. I thought this was a very good one. This one is from Ma Ji Chung. Now, the question is, hi, Desmond, with the integration of all the modules together, will there be a slowdown in system when the volume of transaction is high?
In today's world, okay, when we design a software, it always design on a single PC and single CPU. In coming days, there's a server farm. The server farm logic will come. Why server farm? Example, the calculation is not done by 1 CPU. It's a load balancer done by 10 CPU to calculate. If not, then 20 CPU to calculate the stock calculation. So by changing the way of the software to calculate and decentralize the data processing, this is where we'll address the problem. It's not to change a better CPU, because when you change a better CPU, there's always a limitation there. How good is the best? I mean, you couldn't go sky high server spec, but the design of the software, yes, for SQL, we do have our design, the new design of, there's a multiple, it's up to 70 or 80 PCs to calculate for you whenever you click a button. It doesn't feel it. The speed is crucial. And as I said, the years to come, the software not only rely on human to input data. For the past 10, 20 years, we rely on keyboard and mouse input or data feeding into digital world. In coming years, the IoT will feed in the data. So the amount of raw data is tremendously increased. We are aware of that. So this is on our design, taken care of.
All right, fantastic. Now, Desmond, we're going to have to wrap things up here because our time is unfortunately up. But you do have a surplus of questions, 15 altogether in the Q&A box. So if you could please answer that once your session is done, that would be absolutely super. But thank you so much from all of us here at MDEC. I'd like to thank you for being a part of the SME Digital Summit 2020. To everyone else who's watching, let's give him a virtual round of applause. A job well done. It was very informative,
thank
very
you for
detailed.
MDEC. And I appreciate MDEC for 50% grant initiative. That is very helpful to the SME. It's very helpful. Thanks for MDEC again for having this session.
All right. Thank you, Desmond. You have a nice day now. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.